There are many, many scales to be learned. From the standpoint of somebody sort of learning scales and trying to get sort of music theory on your instrument, most guitar players start out with the pentatonic structure. So the 5-note structure, minor, major, pentatonic. They're easy to learn, they're very, very versatile, so it's a great first step. The next step being the major scale, the first 7-note architecture and all of the modes of the major scale. And once you're done with those, the next 2 scales to really get to know are harmonic minor and melodic minor. Now, anytime you soak in one of these scales and you sort of like look at the structure, get it under your fingers and in your ears, and harmonize the scale, there's always an aha moment in every scale you learn, and melodic minor is no exception. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. Today you will learn the melodic minor scale. Now, as I mentioned, this is one of the scales that you really want to dig into after you've got your major scale stuff down and really worked through and you really understand that structure. The melodic minor is an interesting scale. I'm going to show you how it works. We're going to stick it on the fretboard. I'm going to give you all the fret numbers, and then we're going to harmonize it, and I'll show you how all that works. Interestingly enough, the melodic minor scale was designed to add a little bit more tension in a melodic situation in a minor tonality by introducing the major 7. I'm going to show all this to you, but I'm just giving you a little bit of an outline. Inside the major scale and all the modes, there is no minor scale that has the major 7 in it, that really serious half-step resolution point between the 7 and the root. So the melodic minor serves this purpose by providing that major 7 in a minor tonality. And I'll play all this and you'll hear it in a moment. But the structure itself doesn't harmonize well, and I'll talk about this, but it generates a bizarre series of chords in a very strange order. So it doesn't really provide a good basis for writing chord progressions. It's much more so designed as a melodic structure, hence the name, melodic minor. Whereas the harmonic minor structure generates great harmony, right? And harmony being chords, melody being, straight scalar playing single note lines, harmony being stacked intervals. Chords are harmonic devices. So as a scale, it functions much more effectively as a generator of melody and not necessarily of harmony. Let's zoom in and I'll show you how this works. Okay, let's learn melodic minor. First, I'm just going to play the scale for you, get the sound in our heads. We're going to be in the key of A here, A melodic minor. Here's what it sounds like. Let me just give you those fret numbers really quick. A melodic minor. On the E string, 5, 7, 8. On the A string, 5, 7. On the D string, 4, 6, 7. On the G string, 4, 5, 7. On the B string, 5, 7. And on the E string, 4, 5. I really like to think of melodic minor as a major scale with a flat 3. So here's a major scale. Just flat the 3rd down to this note. It's a little bit of a lighter cognitive load to sort of see the scale and think about the scale in that way. Okay, the melodic minor, as I said before, and as you might guess from the name, is really designed to generate melodic content. And when we get to harmonizing it, you'll see that it doesn't actually do that very well, but it's a very good melodic generator, a generator of melodic content in a minor tonality. Now, it's designed to basically replace this flat 7 in the natural minor scale. Here's the natural minor scale. This is Aeolian or natural minor. Listen to that 7-1 resolution, how soft it is. The melodic minor scale fixes this by adding the major 7 into the scale. Just gives it a really nice push at that 7. However, descending, it's a little harder to take, interestingly enough. And in classical application, this was used as an ascending structure only, and it was returned to natural minor or the Aeolian mode when descending. So the scale would be used like this. That's up melodic minor, descending in regular old Aeolian or natural minor. There's a perfect example of this in the Beatles' Yesterday. I'm going to play this melody for you. I've transposed it into this key, but listen to how this scale is used. McCartney uses the melodic minor scale to ascend this part of the melody, and then when he descends the melody, he descends the Aeolian mode. Here it goes. That's melodic minor. Here's Aeolian. And I'm going to give you some context by playing that whole melody but remaining in melodic minor. I guess it's an okay melody. Part of the reason that it doesn't sound right is because we've heard it so many times, but it's not as smooth as Aeolian on the descending line. So ascending melodic minor, descending Aeolian. A perfect example of using that sort of in the classic sense of leveraging that major 7 to push the harmony really hard going up and then soften it coming back down. Quite fascinating. It's the only scale that I know of that's used regularly in that way. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why you don't see this scale out in the wild very much, because it's used mostly ascending. So you'll see a fragment of it in a melody or in a solo, but then it won't stay very long. Here's the other reason why you don't see it very often out in the wild, and that's also due to the fact that it does not harmonize well. Harmonizing a scale is basically playing 3 notes in a row, every other note, from every note in the scale. And that sounds like this. Listen to the chords that this produces. So first, let me just show you the chords that a major scale produces. A very nice cadence of tension and release, right? When I harmonize the melodic minor scale, here are the chords it produces. Notice how there's not a real specific place where the tension builds and releases. It just meanders. Here it is again. So using this as a harmonic structure, a structure that generates a harmony, chords, for a chord progression, is very, very difficult. You can do it, but you have to work really hard because it doesn't offer a really great place where harmonic tension builds and resolves. As a melodic structure, that major 7 creates a lot of melodic tension, but harmonically it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't have any sort of real lift. It just seems to meander around. So that's why basically this is sort of a rare structure, because it works melodically and very, very well ascending, but not so well descending, and it doesn't harmonize well at all. So you can see the structure itself becomes a bit useless when you think about writing a song in melodic minor. It's very, very difficult. So much more suited to a melodic structure, much less suited as a harmonic generator. Okay, there it is, melodic minor. Not a real great harmony generator, which is why we call it melodic minor, but also not necessarily a great melodic structure descending. It's great ascending because it's got that major 7 that pushes you to the root, but descending, it sounds a little stilted when it gets down to that minor 3rd. So fascinating that it's been largely used, classically used as, you know, an ascending only structure, which is why you don't see it out in the wild very often. Jazz musicians use this a lot because it's a very nice sounding scale. And if you're outlining a minor tonality, that major 7 is really, really spicy. But again, you don't hear a lot of songs composed in melodic minor because it just doesn't do that very well. Okay, I've tabbed all this out, including all the harmonic structure, the chords that it generates. And so you can find that over on Patreon. I've linked that in the description. So head on over there if you'd like the tabs. And if you enjoy this channel, you enjoy what I do and it resonates with you, and you'd like to support the channel, Patreon's a great way to do it, but I've also included a donate link in the button below. So if you do choose to support the channel, I thank you very much in advance. Okay, go forth. Learn melodic minor, soak in it for a while. Listen to that major 7 against the minor 3rd and see what you think. Explore those chords and see if maybe there's something there. I mean, it's possible to write a song in melodic minor. It's just not easy. So you can accept it as a challenge. All right, I hope it goes well for you. I hope you enjoy this. I'll see you next time.